Hello, welcome back. My name is Stephanie, and on this channel I talk a lot about houseplants. In today's video, I thought I would do like a massive, just a one big haul video. I do a lot of plant shopping videos on my channel, maybe sometimes one about maybe every week or so I have a plant shopping video, and not every time, but a lot of times I pick up something new when I go to the local plant stores, and I do buy a few houseplants from online sellers like in my community or surrounding cities, or sometimes I just get little cuttings or gifts from people. So I thought instead of having like multiple miniature haul videos, I thought if I have new plants to share every month, I'd just have one big haul video where I will show all the plants that I've acquired for the month. So like I've mentioned, I didn't purchase every single one of these plants. Some of them were gifts or are just cuttings. And so I'm happy to have them in my collection. And this is just sort of like a record of when these plants entered my collection, what they look like. And I hope that in future months and years to come, I can give updates on how these plants are doing, hopefully, if they're still around. I could, see how they've progressed as time goes on. I'll be honest, most of these plants are Hoyas. I'm trying to build my Hoya collection. I don't have a very big Hoya collection. I recently sort of got bitten by the Hoya bug, and I've been trying to accumulate some of the uncommon but very silvery splashy Hoyas. I do have a video already on a Hoya haul I did. I think it was last month, and you could watch it here. But I have a couple just small cuttings that I've acquired, and I'm excited to see how they perform. Hopefully they grow. I mean, it's scary putting them here for everyone to see, and then maybe in 6 months you ask me, hey Stephanie, where's that cutting? And I'm like, well, so I hope. So let's get started. So I got a bunch of plants and I brought them nearby. So I'm going to start with what's nearby, and then we'll go from there. So I'm not going to stay too long on each plant because there's quite a bit to show, and I'm going to try where possible to show what a mature version of this looks like, what the potential could be. So I'm going to try to show it over here. First and foremost, I'm going to start with this one. I got this in a plant. I got this in February. That'll be the case for all the plants you see here today. But this is a Philodendron Pink Princess Marble. So it's, as the name suggests, it is a pink princess, but this is a marble version. So basically the variegation on this plant looks just a little bit different than your typical pink princess. So at first I wondered to myself, well, why get another pink princess? I have a pink princess and I don't even like it that much. Why get the marble? But I really loved how the variegation looks in pictures that I've seen online on Instagram. But this is how the variegation looks on this new leaf. I'll also post pictures of what other specimen or more mature plants, what they could look like. I got this earlier in the month, so it's one of the first plants I got in the month of February. And some of you may know, if you follow me on my YouTube community tab or on Instagram, my cat jumped on the plant shelf and knocked down the plant. So I lost the last new growth that it had, but the plant doesn't seem to mind and it's pushing up a brand new leaf here. I'm very happy about that. So whenever you hear bells like that one, that's my plants. My cats, I keep calling my cats plants. That's my cat's bell. So yeah, so far what I like about this plant is that if you have a pink princess, you would know what I mean. When the new growth on a pink princess comes out, it twists as it comes out, and it needs very high amount of humidity in order to push through. And what happens is that it twists and twists and it gets stuck most of the times, and it twists so much that it actually breaks the leaf in half. What I love about this is this behaves a lot differently, and if you notice, this new leaf came out without a scar, without any tearing, any ripping, and I love that about the way this plant is growing so far. So I'm feeling really positive. And then another plant that I got this month common is this lemon lime cordatum. So this is a philodendron lemon lime. And I've always sort of wanted one of these in my collection. I mean, I already have, I'm not sure if you could see it in the frame, I already have a neon pothos and the color on them are very, very similar. But for some reason, I just felt like I wanted to have this. I've seen this in other people's collection, like a much mature plant. And I just like the heart-shaped leaves, which is a bit different than the pothos. So I thought, you know what, it's quite inexpensive. I got it for $12, so it's not that expensive, and they're pretty fast growers. So I just thought I'd get another trailing plant, add it to my collection. Yellow is my favorite color, so I just thought I'd have another yellow plant because I love my neon pothos, but I wanted something with a leaf shape that was just a little bit different than the neon pothos. So it's not exactly the same because I don't want to just have a bunch of neon pothos cuttings all over my home. So yeah, but so far it's been growing well. I think this is its newest leaf, and it has a new leaf coming here. And right now it's drying out very quickly, so I think it's ready for a repot. But I'm going to wait until we have sunnier days, and then I'm going to put this, refresh the soil, put it in aeroid potting mix, and yeah. So that's this one that I got this month. Okay, so this Hoya actually wasn't even on my radar. I had no intention of getting it because I prefer to get, like I mentioned, I'm trying to get uncommon to rare houseplants in my collection right now. So I was surprised when I actually decided to get one of these. So I got this one. This is a Hoya Crimson Queen. And I got this when I did a plant shopping at Harper's Nursery. That nursery has a lot of amazing houseplants. But I got this one, and this plant originally was growing in soil. I will show you, because I got these maybe at least 3 weeks ago, I'll show you what it looked like when I originally got it. And it was originally growing in soil, and I decided to put this plant in pon because I figured, because this plant is such a common plant, if I mess it up, it's an easy plant to get a hold of in case I do mess it up. So I am experimenting, very brave of me. And so I took this out of the soil and I put it into pon. And since then I've noticed, well, something that I've always known, vining plants struggle when you switch the medium on them. I mean, all plants struggle a little bit, except Syngonium. All plants sort of struggle a little bit when you switch out the medium. But with vining plants, I noticed this even more. So what I've done is that if you could see, if you notice the original pictures, it looks a bit, it's not as full right now as how it originally looks. So because I took a couple cuttings and I put them to propagate. So just in case this mother plant kicks the bucket, I thought I would take some cuttings. So they're propagating in water right now. And also it takes a lot of stress off of the mother plant because the longer the vines, the more stress it is on the plant to acclimate to a new medium. So I thought I'd take a few cuttings and just relieve some stress on this. But I like this plant because of the bright pink variegation it can get. So I lost one of the most beautiful leaves that it had, but that's okay. This is just an idea of what it can look like. And you look at this new leaf, so you can see how pink this new leaf is. I hope you can see it. And why I picked this one is because it has a few vines that are extremely pink. So this vine here is very, very pink. So I lost one of the leaves that was on it. And if you can't see it, I'm sure you'd be able to see it in the clips that I have. And so I'm hoping that when new growth comes out of that vine, it'll be very, very pink and very, very red. But I think I'll let this plant hang. I'm not sure if I'll put it on a trellis, but I'm excited to have it. And I'm surprised at how excited I am to have this plant, considering that I had no intention of getting it. But I'm excited to put the cuttings when they begin to root, to put them back in here and really have a nice full pot that cascades and does all the beautiful things. So I'm excited. So this one's a Hoya Crimson Queen. Another Hoya that I got is this one. This is a Hoya AH074, and I got this one just from Facebook Marketplace off a local seller for a pretty good price. And this one I really love. Not even the silver, but just the variegation on this plant is very, very beautiful. I really appreciate it. This leaf is almost completely variegated with very little green in it, and it's not silver, it's a mint. It's sort of like a mint, a very pale green color, and it's very pretty to me. And I'm looking forward to when this is hopefully a full plant of this beautiful variegation. I also have some other pictures of when I first got this plant, but it was propagating in water, and so far I've put it in pond. That's my cats. I've put it in pond, and it hasn't given me any new growth as yet. No growth points have been activated. Just the tiniest bit worried because nothing has happened yet, but at least I haven't lost any leaves, and the leaves still feel quite firm. So when your leaves start to feel very soft on Hoyas, that's when you know that it's struggling a bit or trying to acclimate. So it could be that more is happening inside of the pot than on the top. So eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to see the progress up top. But so far, so good. The leaves still feel firm, and I'm really, really excited about this plant. I just have it again in pond with a little water reservoir at the bottom, and it seems to be doing okay. No stress yet, but so far it seems to be quite slow growing. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of like back and forth here. But another Hoya that I got, so this is actually the same plant. I got this from Jenna's Plants, and this is a Hoya oh my goodness, the name suddenly left me. I had to go look because I couldn't remember. This is a Hoya Michele, or some people call it a Hoya Michele. So I got this. It was one long cutting from Jenna's Plants, and I was really excited to get this. This was one of the Hoyas that stood out to me when I first started getting into Hoyas. This was one of the ones that really, really caught my eye. I love the big, wide leaf, and I really love the splashing that's on this plant. And so far, I've put it into water to propagate, and we have some roots growing. It seems to be happy. All of my cuttings, I keep them in a prop box and right next to a south-facing window, so they can get all of that good, yummy light and do what it needs to do to give me some beautiful leaves and hopefully some new growth. So I'm trying to show the leaf without affecting the roots down below or spilling water and making a complete mess everywhere. But yes, I'm excited to see what this plant will look like eventually. No new growth coming out of the growth points as yet. It looks like something is trying to get started. It's trying to do something in the corner here, but I'm fine. Again, the leaves feel nice and firm, and I have some nice new roots growing down below. So once I've got roots growing, that's okay. Growth will come eventually. I'm excited for what this plant can look like. And the reason, even if I got one long cutting, I split the cutting in half just to give myself double the chances of survival, and it's less stress on the cutting when it has fewer leaves to maintain. I feel like when there are more leaves, it takes much longer for the plant to establish itself and grow roots. But when you've chopped off, or when you cut it, when you give the plant less to maintain, fewer leaves, I find it begins to progress faster. So I just thought I'd cut it, but I'm excited, and hopefully it'll be a nice full pot. Well, not a nice full pot, but it will make up for a fuller pot when it's ready to be potted up. Hoya Wibergiae China. So this doesn't look like the most splashy Wibergiae, but the seller was selling it. It was going for a pretty good price. It wasn't too expensive. Actually wasn't expensive at all. It was a great price. And I think of Kevin in Hakuna La Planta. If you know Kevin, you know the that Hoya Mathilde splash that he has. I remember when I first saw this specimen in one of the earlier videos, it had very little variegation, and Kevin just kept cutting it back and it activated some splash. So I thought, I don't have much to lose. It's true, there's very little splashing happening on these leaves here, but it was a great price. And so I thought, you know, I got 3 leaves, so I was able to cut them and have two plants or 2 cuttings in this one and in the other one, and they're growing in pond with a little reservoir down below. And yeah, so far so good. Even if it's not extremely splashy, I still really like this. And I mean, I already have the Wilbur Graves Russia that I got from Jenna's Plants that has a lot of splashing on it, so I'm not disappointed at all. I mean, I saw the specimen before I picked it, and I still decided to get it, so I don't mind at all. So I'm just excited to have it and try it out. And I believe I got this for free. This was given to me as a Hoya Mathilde splash. So this was gifted to me as a Hoya Mathilde splash when I bought some Hoya cuttings from a seller. But I feel like it looks like a Serpens. I could be wrong. I think I've seen other Serpens and the leaves are a lot smaller, but it looks so much like a Hoya Serpens to me. But I know it can't be a Serpens. It's most likely a Mathilde splash. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing if, if this was a Serpens? I'd be very excited. But so far, this has been growing painfully slow. Just little fuzzy tips are growing. No new growth points. Nothing has been happening so far. But again, it's new to my collection, so I hope that soon it'll start to do a little something. If it does, you can check out my Instagram. I most likely will very excitedly be posting updates. And next, I have a Hoya Wibergiae. I will call it a Wibergiae. So I've got this one, and when I first got this Hoya Wibergiae, it had this growth point was not here. That was not there. And it's funny because the seller was like, hey, do you want this? I thought, sure, I'll take it. I mean, I wouldn't say no to anything. And I Googled up what a Wibergiae could look like, and it gets these, I believe that's when it's sun stressed. It has, is it purple? This very purplish, pinkish color. And I thought it was very pretty. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll get it. And when I saw these woody stems, I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever to grow. And it's funny, it's always the plants that you're not as excited about. These are the plants that seem to be, you know, making the most fuss and doing so well. And then the plants that I'm like staring at every day, do something. I'm excited to see you grow. These are the plants that do nothing. Is it the plant? Or is it me? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. And so this plant, I wasn't expecting it. It just pushed out this new leaf and this new growth point. It's doing well. It's happy. It loves the light that it's getting and then the humidity that it's getting in my little pop box. And it's getting all day sun in my south facing window, and it's doing well and it's happy. And I'm very happy that I also gave it a warm welcome into my collection, even if it was not on my radar. Okay, so the next plant, if you saw some of my recent videos, I did show this plant in my video. And this is a Syngonium Albo. This is a plant that I have wanted for quite some time, but I've never seemed to find it in my local plant stores. And so when I went, that plant store I was telling you about, Harper's Nursery, when I visited them, they had this plant there and I was so excited. It did not have a lot of variegation. So I was a little disappointed that there was not a lot of variegation on the leaves, but I thought, hey, It's a Syngonium Albo. It's $20. And this lower leaf here had quite a bit of variegation. So I thought, you know what? I love Syngoniums. Even if it doesn't have variegation, a whole lot of variegation, I love Syngoniums anyway. I will love it. And then it surprised me. It was like, hold my roots, hold my roots. And it sure showed me that I was wrong, that there's some variegation inside this plant. And it has been growing very quickly. I've been surprised at how well it has been doing. So it lives back here. The first maybe week or so, it lived in my south facing window, right in getting full sun all day. I mean, I'm not afraid to give my plants full sun. No, sir. But then I pulled it back and put it over my shoulder here, under my grow lights. I mean, right there, it does get a little bit of that bright light, but no direct light from the south facing window. And it's pushed out this new growth point here. Do you sometimes feel tempted to start the unfurling process? I have to hold myself back sometimes. But yeah, so I'm not sure how much variegation this new leaf will have, because this leaf grew purely under my grow lights, but we will see. It doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot, but we'll see. And if it's not enough, it's going right back in that south facing window. I would like to trigger a lot of this variegation, and then eventually I'm going to cut it back, start propagating, and create new plants with that rich variegation. But I love Syngoniums. It's in a self-watering pot. Whenever you see pots like this, these are my self-watering pots. And yeah, it's in self-watering pots in pond, and this did not even bat a leaf at me, not bat an eye, bat a leaf at me when I took it out of soil and put it into pond. It didn't even. And I love Syngoniums. They are so easygoing, stress-free, low maintenance. They're just happy to be part of the party. They're just happy to be there. Love them, love them. How's the video going so far? Do you like what you see? If you do, you can give the video a thumbs up down below to let me know. And you can subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of other houseplant content that I think you might enjoy. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we're back with another Hoya. So this is a Hoya Latifolia. So I got this online, a seller actually in my community, right, like very close to my home. So I got this recently, I think last week. Yeah, actually last week I got this plant, and this growth point did not exist when I got it last week. And wow, it's already pushed this out within a week. This growth point wasn't even a hump. It was nothing when I got it, and it's growing really quickly. I believe the mixture, I have not altered the mixture that it came in. This looks like the Crystal Star Nursery, like their Hoya mixture, not their mineral magic mix. It's sort of like an aeroid mix. It looks very similar to it. I could be wrong, but it looks very similar to that mixture. But I'm very, very happy. If you notice a trend with me, I love broadleaf Hoyas. I love the heart-shaped leaf on this. I love the veining, the white veining on this. It's really pretty. I really like it. But so far I love plants that grow, and it is growing. It is growing, and I'm happy to have it. Another Hoya that wasn't really on my radar, but plant a Hoya for a good price. I won't say no to that. All right, so 3 more plants left. The next one that I'll talk about is a Hoya Crassipetiolata Splash. This one I also got from the same seller that I got the Latifolia from. And I mean, come on. The Crassipetiolata Splash is a stunning Hoya. It's a small leaf Hoya. It had a little bit of burning there, but I did get it for a really good price, so I did not mind that at all. And yeah, it was already pushing out this new leaf here when I got it. I've only had this one as well, so for just about a week. And it has like a tendril here, a vine that it's working on. And on the end, it looks like it might have some new leaves eventually coming out here. It may be a bit too soon to tell. Yeah, it looks like it's working on some new leaves. It may be too small to tell, but it's also in like the Crystal Star Nurseries mix. Is very well, very well rooted. I'm very happy with it. I think it was a great purchase for a great price, and so far so good. It seems to be growing very well. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like. Hopefully, if I can help it to grow this big and this beautifully. And yes, it's one of the Hoyas that really caught my attention very early on. And so this came with the plant. This is the main plant, and then I already had a Crassipetiolata cutting that I sort of got with one of my other purchases. It was very inexpensive, so I just put it in here. So I technically have 2 small plants in here. So hopefully this is already rooting, so hopefully it'll grow into a beautiful bushy plant soon. I'm just so impatient. Let's not call it impatient. I'm excited. I am very excited to see these plants grow and mature and do the things that they can do. I mean, I know that Hoyas bloom, and I think that's why a lot of people pick get Hoyas. I actually pick my Hoyas not based on the blooms, but I pick them based on the leaves. So I actually have no idea what the blooms are on these Hoyas, or what they look like, how they smell. I have no idea, because I feel like the blooms are a bonus, but the leaves are what I'm constantly with, right? I don't get the blooms very often. I know they tend to last long, but and I've heard of many people who have Hoyas that they've never seen bloom. So I just focus on the leaves, and I choose leaves that I enjoy. And you know what? If they bloom for me, that would be a very great bonus, like a cherry on top, but I'm all about those leaves. So 2 more Hoyas left. I will start with this one. So this is a Hoya Carnosa Nova Ghost. So I got this maybe a week and a half ago from Jenna's Plants. And yes, I'm very excited. I've heard great things about this plant in terms of ease of care and how quickly it grows. So I'm looking forward to it doing those wonderful things for me in my care. I would love that. I'm very tempted to cut it right here because there are quite a few little points here that looks like they're trying to be aerial roots. So I'm very tempted to give it a chop right here and then put this part in water, because Hoyas can grow roots all along the stem, all along the vine. So I'm tempted to do that to take a little bit of pressure off of off of the base here, I should say, to take a little pressure off of this to make roots, just to make it a little easier for the plant. When I got it, it was already working on these leaves right here, and they're not drying out. They seem fine, and it also has some more leaves growing at the top on this vine already. So I'm tempted to just leave it as is, leave it in water, just refresh the water every now and then. But so far, I've had it for about a week and a half and it hasn't done anything yet. So I'm a little bit, my hands are getting a little bit itchy. I'm like, just cut it. So I don't know. At the ending of this video, I might. But when Jenna gave me this, she said that these leaves were just hardening off. I mean, now they feel a lot firmer than how they felt when I first got them. Well, this one does. This one, not so much. So I'm worried about cutting it when these leaves are not completely hardened off yet. But I'm actually not sure if that's just how the leaves always feel, because Hoya tend to have these very firm, succulent leaves, and these leaves are quite soft. Like, these are a little bit firm, but they're definitely softer than your typical Hoya leaves. So I'm not sure if if these are completely hardened off and it's okay to cut it and make another plant, or if I should wait a little bit longer, because I don't want to damage these up top. I do not know. But I'm very excited to have this Nova Ghost, and I'm looking forward to the beautiful specimen that it can become, the beautiful plant. I'm looking forward to it. I really like the minty leaves, and this has so much variegation. It's very, very, very minty. It's quite minty with just very tiny splashes of regular green on it, of dark green. So this could, you know, this could be why it's taking a little bit longer to root, but oh, it could just be me being very excited. I don't know. It's a great and beautiful cutting. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to see the great things that it can do and to become. Today, I guess I almost forgot because it just happened yesterday. I went to a friend's house and she gave me, I believe these are donkey tail cuttings. So I still have not put them into water yet, or I still have not begun their propagation process yet because I just got these yesterday. And so I've always looked at these in the plant stores, and I've always considered them. I've always been tempted to pick up one, but I never do. So I'm so glad to have one. So she was so generous. She gave me quite a few of these little cuttings. So I thought, let me include them. They're new to my collection, and I got them in February. That dropped, but that's okay. I could just pop that in a medium. These propagate very, very easily. So I think I can put this in water, but I think the main way I've seen this propagated is people will pick off these little leaves here and stick them in soil, or stick them in the medium, and they will grow and multiply that way. So yeah, I'm just going to double check online to see how it's done before I pick them all off, and I could have just put it in water. So I'm just going to do that. But yeah, if I mess this up, it's my fault. I have lots of chances of success here. So thank you, Dawn. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to add this to my collection. And the last but not least, the last plant that I'm going to talk about today is the Hoya that I'm actually very nervous about. It was fully rooted when I got it, and it hasn't, like most of the other plants that I got have already started growing. They've already started growing pushing out new growth, and nothing has happened yet. But again, it's probably just me being me. I'm so excited that I'm excited to have new growth. And so nothing has happened. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm blabbering on. The plant that I'm referring to is the Hoya Coriacea. I have no idea. I should have probably looked it up before I brought it here. But I just know it by the spelling, and I've never said it out loud. Oh, I don't even recall anyone else saying it out loud. Yeah, I have no recollection. But this one is the Hoya Coriacea Silver. If I said it wrong, I apologize. But that's this one there. Here, I got it from Jenna's Plants, and it was a beautiful, beautiful specimen. It is beautiful, but I'm just saying, when I got it, it looked great, and it still looks great now. So that's this one. It's this plant. I don't usually go for soft leaf Hoyas, but there's something about this one that's quite unique. I just like, I'm into anything minty and splashy, and that's what this is. It's minty. It's minty, and the splashiness isn't silver. The splashiness is the green. So this is very beautiful. I love it. It's fully rooted, and it's growing. It hasn't done anything yet, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I will keep you posted. But this one is brand new to my collection, and hopefully I don't mess it up. So any tips you have for this plant or any of the other plants that I've shown today, please be so kind as to give me all of your tips in the comment section. I love hearing from you. I love getting your feedback. And I also would like to know what plants you got in the month of February. Did you get anything new? Did you get any new cuttings? Or what plants have you been really enjoying in the month of February? Let me know. I would love to hear, what plants that you think that I should look out for. Please tell me. I would love to know. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my content. And if you liked this video, you may like these other videos. So the plant shopping video where I picked up some of these plants from is this one over here. My other Hoya video, the Hoya haul from last month, is this one over here. And I don't know, YouTube will recommend something for you here. I wonder what it would recommend for you. You can also subscribe by clicking over my shoulder over here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.